Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel and another video where we are going to use yoga to give our muscles some love and do some stretching out, maybe after you've gone to the gym, done some weightlifting, or if you are somebody who maybe sits at a desk for long periods of day and are finding yourself a little sore and a little tense. So what we're going to be doing today is another video that is focused on the shoulders and chest area. So the last video that I did that was focused on the shoulders, I got some comments that it was really helpful and that this area is a big struggle for people. I know for me, I carry so much stress and tension in my shoulders and my neck, and it just gets so tight and feels like rocks. And so doing some stretches that really focus on this area is super helpful and really makes me feel so much better and so much more loose, and makes me feel a whole lot better. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is some more stretches for this area. One thing that you are going to need for these moves is some kind of a yoga strap. Now, they make specific straps for yoga poses, and you are welcome to get those. They're pretty inexpensive, or you can find some alternatives. So what I'm actually using today is a yoga mat strap. So this actually goes over my mat and I can carry it to class with me. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Or you can always grab some kind of a towel. I would recommend the length of a body towel, but maybe not super fluffy or super thick. That way it's not too heavy for you. So just find whatever you have laying around, maybe a rope or towel, whatever you have, and then have your mat out and we'll go ahead and get started. So for our first one, you can sit in a kneeling position like what I am doing here. That's probably the best way to do it. And you're gonna need your strap for this first one. So what we're gonna do is we're basically gonna do a wide shoulder roll using the strap as a guide. So if you have your strap, you can lay it across the top of your thighs here, and then we're gonna grab it wider than our shoulder length by a decent amount. So for me, I'm gonna have it about like this. So my arms are probably at about like a 45-degree angle from my shoulder coming out. And we're just gonna grab a hold of it, having the strap over the top of our thighs. And then what we'll do is we'll start to pick it up and bring it up overhead. Arms are nice and straight. So you might automatically start feeling an opening in the chest. And then what we're going to do is actually bring it behind us, and you might have to bend your elbows a little bit and bring it behind us so the strap comes down to the back of our like upper back, to our low back area. Goodness. So you have it there. And then we'll just go the opposite way. So we'll start to come up, maybe bend at the elbows, bringing the strap up overhead, and then it comes down, laying back onto our thighs. So we're going to do that a couple of times, but we'll put in the breath as well. So as you bring the strap up this time, take an inhale until you reach the top overhead, and then as you exhale, we'll come down until the strap hits our low back. And then we'll just do the opposite now. So inhale as you come up until the top overhead, and then exhale, coming back down. Strap comes to the top of the thighs. Okay, a couple more times. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale. Reach up as high as you can and exhale. Okay. Inhale. Reaching straight up towards the sky and exhale. And back down. All right, guys. So that will be the first move for today's video. You are welcome to do more of those. I think that they are just, that one's so good. at just kind of loosening up the shoulder joint, especially, and if you're tight in this upper chest area, I think it really stretches that out too. So you're welcome to do this as many times as you want with whatever prop that you have at home. But for now, we'll go ahead and stick that aside. We are now done with that, and we'll go into our next one. So what I'll have you do is just come onto a kneeling position again onto your mat. And there's a couple of options. We're going to do a chest opener, but this also again will stretch out the shoulders. So for the first option, what you can do is you can actually place the hands down on the mat behind you to where your fingers are pointed in towards your toes. And then once you get there, what we'll do is we'll start to bend at the elbows and start to lean back even farther. And what you might find is that as you're bending your elbows, that it's really kind of opening this chest area again here. And you might even feel a little bit of a stretch in like the back shoulder blade area. So we're just bending the elbows, breathing into this pose. Maybe sinking a little bit farther with each exhale. And then on your next inhale, we'll go ahead and start to straighten the elbows back out. And then we'll push ourselves back up to this kneeling position. So that was option number one for this pose. The second option that you have is it's going to give you a very similar feel. And instead of putting your hands down on the mat behind us, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hands behind our low back and then interlace the fingers together. Now you can leave all the fingers interlaced if you'd like. I know some people that do yoga, they like to kind of have their index finger out and touching, kind of almost like a Charlie's Angels pose. That's what it always reminds me of. And then what we're going to do is start to externally rotate the shoulders. So what you're doing with your shoulder blades is you're kind of pushing them closer together and opening up the front part of the shoulders as well. So we'll interlace the fingers and then we'll do this kind of external rotation with the shoulders. And then once you've done that, the fingers will start to come down and away from the low back. So you want to think about almost like your hands are getting pulled down towards the mat and then away from the back as well. And then we'll take a few breaths, finding length with our inhales, and then maybe a little more space to open up even more with the exhales. What I like about this is just kind of how simple it is, that I can just do this really quickly after I've maybe done a shoulder workout, or if I'm feeling a little tight and tense at my desk. I can just very quickly come into this, hold for a few breaths, maybe even tuck the chin down in towards the chest to lengthen my neck out a little bit more. And it's really quick and easy, something that I can do at any point throughout my day. Go ahead and take one more inhale together. And on your exhale, we'll release the hands and come back to center. All right, guys, so nice job on that one. So we've done two. We'll do one more, and again, I'll show you a couple of different variations depending on how far you want to go in it. So what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and come into a laying down position on our stomachs on the mat. So we're going to come all the way down to where you are laying on the mat. You can untuck the feet so the tops of the feet are resting on the mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with what's called locust pose. So you can go ahead and rest your head down on the mat. Forehead comes to touch. And then just like what we did in the previous poses, We're going to bring the hands behind our low back and interlace the fingers. And again, you can have all the fingers interlaced, or you can have your index fingers out and touching each other. And then what we'll do is on the inhale, we'll start to do that same motion where we feel like our arms are getting pulled back. That's going to externally rotate the shoulders. Shoulder blades feel like they're coming together. And then we'll start to pick the chest up off the mat. So the hands are pulling away, lifting the chest up off of the mat. Keep trying to keep our feet touching the mat. We're not picking them up. We're leaving them onto the mat. We're pulling away. Making sure we're breathing the whole time. We're going to take one more inhale. And then exhale, coming back down, releasing the arms, maybe down on the sides of your hips. And what we'll do is we'll do one more of those just to kind of get the feel for it, and then I'll show you the other variation that you can do with this. So go ahead and find forehead to mat. Bring hands behind the back, externally rotating the shoulders, and then on the inhale we'll lift up, pulling the hands away from the back, pulling back down towards our feet, taking big breaths. Take one more inhale, and exhale, releasing back down to the mat. If you want to, you can bring the hands one on top of the other, and that'll give you something for your head to rest on. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll going from locust position, we'll go into what is called bow pose. Now this is a really, really big chest and shoulder opener, but as well as a back bend. So we're going to come into it kind of one step at a time, and you deciding how far you want to go today, how far your back will allow you to go, and sticking with what is safe for your body. So I'll show you one side and then we'll do the other, and then we'll put them together. So if you come back to laying down on the mat, I'm going to start with my right side. So what we'll do is we'll actually bend at the knee, the foot will come in towards the hips, and then we'll reach with the same sided arm. So right arm comes and grabs either the top of the foot, or you can reach for the ankle, whatever is accessible to you. And then we'll, same thing as in locust, on the inhale, what we're going to do is we're going to lift up, pulling the foot and the arm kind of away from each other. So if you think about almost like bringing your ankle away, it's going to pull the shoulder open even more and give you a big stretch on this side. You can leave the other arm down here, or you can put it behind your back so you're kind of lifting up together with your shoulders. So go ahead and take one more inhale. And then we'll exhale, release the foot and arm down, and come back to our stomachs. Okay, so now we'll do the other side so we can get a feel for what both sides feel like. So in this pose here, we'll bend the other knee, so left one for me. That same sided arm comes back to reach either the top of the foot or the ankle. And then once you have it, we'll take a big inhale, start to lift up, thinking about that ankle pulling the arm away, chest is opening up, deciding where we want the other arm to be. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, release back, down, head comes to mat. Alright guys, so nice job. I know this is a big stretch, so I'm going to show you how to do the full bow pose. So we do them where both hands are on both ankles and we're kind of like a big circle almost. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You decide based on what we just did with doing one side and then the other, if you feel like bow pose is going to be a safe and accessible pose for you today. If not, you can just kind of watch me, and then you can always go back to locust pose and do that as well, because it's going to give you that similar opening up feeling. So if you want to try the full expression of bow pose, what we'll do is go ahead and bring both feet in towards the hips, bending the knees. And then we'll go ahead and release the chest down, and then we're just going to grab for, again, either the top of the foot or the ankle on both sides. So once you have a hold, we'll go ahead and take a big inhale, start to lift the chest, the knees come up off of the mat, and then we're pulling away with the ankles, pulling the arms away from the chest, opening up the shoulders, continuing to breathe. We're going to take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, we'll release the chest and knees back down, letting go of the ankles. Hands come to the front of the mat and shake. We'll rest on top. Okay. So go ahead and push yourself back up to knees. Let's go ahead and take a child's pose together. Since we just did a big back bend, I like to always do a quick child's pose after that. That way, any kind of strain that I might have done in my low back, I'm kind of reversing that and helping to recover that. So we'll go ahead and come into child's pose. Your hips are going to be down onto your heels. Your knees can either be slightly apart or they can be together, whatever feels good. And then we'll start to bring the hands out in front of us, nice and long. And then once you've gotten there, you can release forehead down to the mat. Thinking about sinking those hips down into the heels. And the arms pulling away like you have one big long line all the way from the hips out and to the hands. Taking big full breaths here. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll go ahead and push up and start to walk the hands back towards the hips. And then we'll come back into this kneeling position. All right, guys. So that was the second video for us with shoulder openers. I hope that you found it helpful. I know that those can be really big poses that feel like a huge expression. So take it easy, go at your own pace. With bow pose, if you only want to do one side and then the other, that's totally fine. You're still going to get that benefit of really opening up the chest and releasing some of the shoulder tension as well. So, and locust, again, is a really great way to do it in a safe way for most people and not feel like you might be hurting your lower back. So take it at your own pace, decide how far you want to go. And you can hold it for more breaths. Sometimes I like to challenge myself and see how long I can stay in locust or bow pose, because it's also really good for kind of stamina building and working the back muscles as well. So again, I hope you found it helpful. If you don't have some kind of a strap at home, like a yoga strap, and you want something like that for your home practice, if you want to do some of those shoulder openers, and you need something, I'll put a suggestion down in the description box for you so you can check that out. And again, if you have any questions, let me know and I will answer them. So I will be seeing you guys very soon, and until then, take care. Bye.